Well, howdy folks, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to the workshop. We're gonna build something today, and that's gonna be a battery starve pedal, which can be used with basically any effect pedal. Now it tends to shine with like fuzz, distortion, overdrive, effects like that, but theoretically it can be used with anything. What it does is it effectively sits between your power supply and your pedal and it starves the power. But anyway, I've been thinking about making one of these for a while and thought, how can I do that? And then, like it was on cue, a video from another channel that I follow called Zerowitz. I'll put his channel up over here if you haven't seen it and you want to check it out. But Zerowitz did a video about how to create one of these using a buck converter board that he got from Amazon for like $1 and change. So I'm gonna follow his plan and do that today. So here's what you're gonna need to build one of these. First thing you're gonna need is an enclosure to put it in. Now I'm using a 1590A standard enclosure here. You can see I've pre-drilled it and pre-finished it just to save a little time. By the way, if you look at this, you can notice it's got like a crinkle finish. That's another idea that I got from Zerowitz. Is he had mentioned that he said, if you don't do a good job on finishing some of your pedals, just use hammer paint like this. And if you do a bad job, it still looks great. And you can see, I just kind of sprayed this on here. Didn't really put any thought into it. It looks really neat. It gives it this like crinkly finish. So the next thing you're gonna need is one of these buck converters. Again, I got this one on Amazon. This one is an LM2596, so you can search for that on Amazon. I got a 5-pack of these and it was $6, so they're a little over $1 a piece. Very, very inexpensive. You're also gonna need 2 pedal power jacks. You can see I have 2 of this type here. You can use the larger type, whatever. I mean, any power jack is going to work. I got these, I think this was a 10-pack that I got for like $5 or something. So they're like, about 50 cents a piece. Very inexpensive, but 2 of these. You're gonna need an LED and a resistor. This is a 3mm LED and this is a 2.2K resistor. But basically any LED, any resistor will work. These LEDs, I think I got like 500 of them for $10. That's what it was. So very, very inexpensive. And then these resistors, I got 10 of them for $1. So again, pennies for these. And finally, you're gonna need a 5K potentiometer. Hopefully you can see it there. It says B5K right up there, but you're gonna want a 5K potentiometer for this. These, depending on, if you buy one, it's probably gonna cost you several dollars, but if you buy like a 10-pack, I think I paid somewhere in the neighborhood of about $1 for this. So all these components are fairly inexpensive. It's gonna allow us to build a fun little pedal. Okay, now before we get started, let me show you the plan here, and I'll go ahead and put this on the screen for you. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that 2596 board, and it has an inside and an outside. And we're gonna put a jack on each end, and then we're gonna put the LED on the outside, just parallel to the out jack. And then we're gonna remove the trimmer pot from the board, and that's where we're gonna put our 5K potentiometer. And then we're gonna drop it all into the little case. Very, very simple project. This one should go fairly quick. If you're new to building pedals, this is a great first one to start with, but let's get going. Okay, the first thing we want to do is desolder this little trim pot from the board by heating up these solder points right here and pulling it off. Now I have a desoldering tool like this that I use to do this. It works really good. If you don't, there's various other ways that you can get that off of there. Okay, so here we go. These 2 wires are gonna go to our input jack. These 3 wires are gonna go to our potentiometer. Put the black one in the middle so I can tell which one's the middle. And then one set of these will go to the LED and the other set will go to the output jack. So let's wire it up and try to get it all into this little case.
Okay, I think we've done it here. We've got everything hooked up, pot mounted. And now I need to figure out a clever way to mount this so it doesn't ground out on any of the other connections. But for now, I just need to test it, so I'm just gonna wrap it in some tape here. Just for now, just to make sure nothing shorts out. So over here, I've got a pedal power supply. So this should be the regulator here. And so this should be our input. If we plug that, oh, and we see a light. Let's see what happens if we turn it down. Nothing. You've got to be kidding me.
A few moments later.
All right, got it figured out. So I took everything back apart, metered everything just one by one to figure out where the problem was. And the potentiometer was bad. I know that's not common, but every once in a while you do get a bad potentiometer. So unfortunately, that was the only 5K pot that I had. But I put a 10K in here, and it is working, except for the fact that the 10K is only going to work from about here to here, right? Because it's only supposed to be 5K. So this last part is just going to do nothing. But I can show you how it works. I'll go ahead and turn it all the way up, and we'll plug in the power. And we see that light come on, which is a good sign. I'll go ahead and plug in an output cable here. This is like what you would put in your pedal. And then I've got my multimeter here. Let's go ahead and turn that to voltage. It's tipped negative, so let's put that in the negative. And then if we do this, we should see about 9 volts, 8.9, but about 9 volts coming through there. Okay. And then as I turn this, it's probably not going to drop at all, like I said, till I hit about the middle. So see, it's still 8.9. But then it should start dropping. There we go. See it start dropping. Well, maybe not. There we go. So you can see this is why I wanted a 5K pot, because it's not even doing anything until we get way over to here. But what you can see is we can starve it there, and when we get to like a volt, this LED doesn't even light up. But okay, folks, so I have the starve pedal plugged in here. You can see it's in the middle, so it's essentially all the way up. And then I've got it plugged into my DoD grunge pedal here. So real quick, here is the clean tone. Okay, let's go ahead and kick this in. So you can hear this is a pretty aggressive pedal. Okay, but now let's go ahead and starve it a little bit. And see that, how the pedal LED doesn't even come on now? Because it's really starving it. Okay, now it's really splatty. Let's turn it back up a little bit. I think we went too low. Oh yeah. Wow. Okay, now just for comparison, listen to this. So as you can see, changing the power to the pedal really does change the tone of the pedal. So that's why people like these things. And again, with every pedal, you can kind of experiment and get the sweet spot. Okay, folks, I've got this baby, got the pot swapped out and got it ready to go now. You can see the new pot in there, but also as long as I had to take it apart to take that pot out, I did some rewiring here. So I wired the LED directly to the jack here instead of having an extra set of wires going to it. That made it a little cleaner. And then I turned the pot this way so the wires could come back around. And then you might just be able to see right here on the edge, I put some hot glue. And so this board is now hot glued to the side. It does not touch the bottom. It does not touch any side, so it's not going to ground out on anything. And it's fairly solid in there, so that makes it nice and clean. There we go. The last thing to do is plug it in and test it out and see if that pot made a difference. By the way, here's the pot that came out. You can see it's a 10K, and this is what went in. It's a 5K. And we'll grab our multimeter, and we can see at maximum there we've got about 8.9 volts, and let's go ahead and turn it down and we'll see how it responds this time. Okay, already we're here and we're already seeing it starting to drop. Oh yeah, definitely much better. See, I'm here and we're already down to 6 volts, whereas before it was almost to the end before we got down there. Okay, there we go. And if we go all the way down, we get down to about 1.2 volts, 1.3 volts, somewhere in there. Definitely gives us a wider sweep. There you go. So if you're curious, that is how you make a battery starve pedal for about $11.